What is up, guys? Welcome to my new video, and as you can see by the title, today I will be showing you the fastest way to gear up to item level 645 so you can jump into normal, heroic raiding and mythic plus dungeons. Of course, you'll be able to jump into that before, but still with higher item level gear you are going to be able to do higher difficulties. And as you guys know, with patch 11.1 we also got start of the season 2 in the War Within, and that means all of our old gear is outdated, and that is where this guide comes into place. First off, I'll start off with the world quests, as they are the fastest and easiest to do, and sometimes they reward a decent upgrade over what you already have. You can get up to 616 item level gear, I'm pretty sure, but your best and easiest pieces will come from the pinnacle cache if you do the quests, or I'm not sure how it's called, but basically from the other boxes if you do the world events. First two boxes each week will award you with an epic item of 623 item level gear. You also have the world bosses in the world boss in the Undermine, and he's guaranteed to drop you an item that is 642 item level. But the thing is, the item is random, so which one you get depends. I killed him on my warrior and I got a chest leather piece. It is warband tradable, but still depends how lucky you are on the drop to get the right piece that you need. Now let's go on to delves. I like early gearing through delves even later on, but I find it especially fun at the start of the season as you can get some very good pieces very quickly. To get started, you need to look at your map and see which delves are bountiful. Those delves, when beaten at the end, contain a chest that you can unlock using the key, and will also award good epic gear. Of course, the item level of the gear is going to depend on which tier delve you finish. To run higher delves, you need to complete the lower tiers first, if you haven't done it. And each tier is going to get harder and harder, but also going to award much better gear. I mean, that is pretty self-explanatory. If you do not have the higher tiers unlocked, I suggest doing the lower tier delves, but ones that aren't bountiful, as you are going to unlock higher tiers, and then run the bountiful delves where you can unlock the chests and hopefully get the upgrades that you need. Rewards also cap at tier 8, which awards item level 639 gear, meaning if you do tier 11 you will still get item level 639 piece, so I suggest running tier 8 delves as they are not that challenging and will help you gear up that much faster. Now we can talk about dungeons. Heroic dungeons are going to award 619 item level gear, while mythic dungeons are going to award 636 item level gear. Now, I always like to gear up through dungeons, but I am also a huge Mythic Plus fan. But here we are talking about Mythic, just mythical difficulty, Mythic 0, let's say it. And if you are going to do this, expect to wipe a few times, since dungeons are new. Well, not new, but they just started being in rotation for season 2, and not many people bother to look up mechanics and go unprepared, which will cause you to wipe quite a few times. Now, if you want to look up some fast guides as I did, so I don't come unprepared, I personally watched this guy, as I'm going to post a screenshot on the screen, since he does them in a minute per boss, and I have to say they come in handy, and he explained it really well, at least in my opinion. Once you start running Mythic Plus dungeons, depending on which key you are running, you are going to get different item level gear. I'll find it and post it on the screen so you can see what to expect, and do also keep in mind it's not guaranteed that you get a gear drop at the end of the Mythic Plus dungeon. Of course, faster you do it, higher chances are of getting an upgrade. Now let's cover raids, or better to say raid. If you run LFR each week, we'll get another wing unlocked, but currently you can only kill first two bosses in LFR, which award item level 623, which is decent for the start, but the question is, can you roll better than all the other players that are in the raid with you? Bosses towards the end, of course, drop a higher item level gear, that being 632 item level on looking for raid or LFR. Normal mode drops 636 item level gear and progresses to 645 item level on last bosses. Heroic will start at 649 item level and progress to 658 on last bosses, and Mythic is going to start at 662 item level and progress to 672 item level on the last bosses. But not many of us are going to do it on Mythic, let's be real here. There are also very rare items that can be obtained that do have higher item level, but I will not mention them since they are, as the name suggests, very rare, and if you get them, awesome. If not, other pieces of gear will have to do. And last but not least, we have PvP gear, which can be bought at this vendor right here for honor points, conquest or blood tokens, with conquest being most valuable piece, and it's going to be 636 item level, but in any PvP activity it will increase to item level 678, as you can read here. Honor gear will be item level 597 and is going to increase to item level 665 in PvP activities, and blood token gear is going to be 632 item level and is going to increase to 675 in any PvP activity, as I said before. And the last two things that we have to cover, and finally tuning in live, I'm going to show you quickly. Any piece of gear can be upgraded. For upgrades, you come right here to this guy. And as you can see, here says drag an item here to upgrade it. So you want to drag your, let's say I upgraded some of my gear already. As you can see, this is champion gear for Out of Fate. It was item level 636 when I got it, and as you can currently see, it's 645. For upgrades, you are going to need Valor stones, and you're going to need crests. Depending on which gear you are upgrading, depends which crest you need. Let's say you do a mythic 8 key, you get an insane piece of gear, then you're going to need glided Undermine crests. And it says here, or you are going to need better ones. I'm not 100% sure, but as you can see, I already have 4 types of them. And when you mouse over any of them, it tells you where to get them, where do they drop, and so on. And as you can see, there is a season maximum on them. But I wouldn't worry too much about that with weathered and carved crests, as you are going to upgrade your gear anyways, and I'm pretty sure the early item levels that we get are pretty useful. As you can see, this piece only requires currently Valor stones, because I have a better piece currently equipped. But as you can see, when I go to veteran rank 3 out of 8, it starts needing weathered Undermine crests. Rank 4, I have the crest, but I currently don't have the Valor stones, and so on. This you can do with any piece of gear that you obtain from Season 2. As you can see, I want to upgrade my weapon, but currently, sadly, no Valor stones, because I upgraded some other pieces. And that is basically how that system works. Also, the gear sets, where can I show them? Item sets, is exactly. As you can see, we can always have the 4 item set, and that is going to increase your power a lot in PB situations. But currently, the item sets you can only obtain from raids. And that is basically this, like this boss drops it. The first one doesn't, but this one. Like this is going to create an item set for you. This Mystic Bloody Gallibucks. Same goes from this and so on. All of these tokens, if dropped, and if you get them, you just right click them and they create tier piece for you. Depending on which boss you finish, not all are going to create the same tier piece. You can also come here, sorry, I have a small cold, that is why I sound funny. Let's say you have an legs. You can put them right here, or helmet. And you can use Essence of Kaja Might to upgrade it to tier piece. But the thing is, we get this, I think, every 2 weeks or every week. I'm pretty sure it's every 2 weeks. So even if you don't do raids at week 2, you're going to be able to have tier set 2 out of 4. And then in 8 weeks, you're going to have 4 out of 4. So I suggest once you open your weekly vault, and I'm going to get to that, that you any insane pieces you can transform into tier sets right there. And now, last but not least, let's talk about the weekly vault. This here is the weekly vault, and he is going to award an insane item level gear. First one is for raids, as you can see here. And currently, the reward that I'm going to get is going to be item level 623. Why? Because I only did 2 bosses in LFR. And it says here, you need to complete this activity on normal difficulty and it's going to increase. Here you defeat 4 bosses and then you are going to have 2 rewards. Let's say a first reward is something that you already have, then you are going to be able to choose the second one. But the second one is going to be lower item level. Like for example here, dungeons. My current reward is 649 item level because I ran mythic 3. And for this to become 652 item level, I need to run mythic 4 dungeon. But if you look here, this reward is 645. The higher dungeons you run and more of them you run, you're going to increase this, basically your first reward, second, and unlock the third one. So you have basically much more options when choosing your reward if you are unlucky and you get something that you don't need. Same goes for world, basically delve or world activities. Since I ran tier 8 delves, I'm going to get 649 piece. Here, if I run more tier or higher, tier 7 or higher delves, this is going to upgrade also to 645. And then if you run more tier 8s, it's going to increase to 649 as the first one. So I suggest trying some mythic dungeons and delves. And of course raids if you like them. I still didn't run it, but maybe today I actually do run some normal to try to get at least 1 tier piece and then create my second one. And now the only thing that I didn't cover here is crafting gear. Why? Because I'm not 100% sure how it goes and I don't want to give you half of the information. There are many guides out there for crafting gear and I'm not sure if it's expensive as it used to be, but basically you can craft some pretty godly pieces. You can even craft 672 item level piece, but trust me, that is going to cost you some gold. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you out. Have fun in season 2, and if you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.